Here are some of the tools I use for making my small die-cast radio control cars. The material I start with is brass sheet. It's 0.4 of a millimeter. I cut it up with tin snips and just a small jeweler's saw. I don't use a vise, I just bend it with some pliers, file some finishes, or I'll use the Dremel grinding bits for finishing off the different sizes. To remove the bases from the car, I simply drill out the rivets in the bottom, pull them apart, cut the axle to remove the wheels. I will grind half the wheels away or file or sand the back on the inside of them to make them thinner, like you can see on that car there. Here are the drill bits. I mainly only use 1mm. I use 0.8 a millimeter when I'm doing a 1mm tap hole. I'll use a 0.6mm for the connecting link. The connecting link is this little hole here with that is basically a pin going to your control arm on the servo. So these will be tapped threads with that 1mm tap. These are 1mm screws. I'll use files. For making the steering mechanism, I will use this K&S brass, which is 3/32 by 3/16. I will scratch a line down the middle. I will put it in my little drill press. I will also have lines scratched this way for how far apart they are, which is normally 4mm. I might do 3 or 4 in a row. I'll drill all the holes in one go on both sides, whether it's for the axle or for the kingpin. And then the last thing I'll do is I'll take it and I will Dremel and cut out all the different shapes. And very last thing is I'll cut it with the saw into the small pieces, which are these little steering knuckles here. First off, I draw up a complete diagram of how the steering is to work. I'll leave a link in the comment section under the video for that. I couldn't find a drill press that suits, so I made my own little drill press. I've got a video on that. I buy drill bits from China, but like I showed, I only need about 3 or 4. I've got a soldering iron kit, and I do recommend if you're doing the small electronics, you use the brass mesh rather than the water sponge. Use flux. You can get away with a